It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to Thursday's Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast. On this, the 7th day of March, 2024, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. Going to be a little bit better weather today. The rains should be gone. Maybe not quite as warm as before the rains came, but still pretty nice. So I got rained out of going out yesterday, so hopefully I am going to get out and get my errands run today. At least that's on the agenda. There's not a whole lot in the news today, folks, but our main story comes from last night, the next step for Bar Harbor. Also today, a required app for a check-in. Some of you have been doing it all along, but now you got to. Silver Nova arrival delayed. Boy, wait to hear the reason. And lots more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Cereal Day. Who writes these things? Well, it's National Cereal Day, so, and I do, most mornings, I get, I get up earlier than most, and somewhere after I've had my 2.5 or so hours from when I took my medication, I'll go get a bowl of cereal to hold me over, and then when Gene and Jean get up, which is usually this time of day or a little later, I'll have my lunch and their breakfast with them after the show. So quite often I get a bowl of cereal in the morning. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy, all the big guys. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, Amazon Music, any of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. Works every time. If you're listening via the podcast and want to jump over to the video feed, there's always a link in the description of the podcast. So you can do just that. In case you want to take a look at an interview or pictures or clips, on the live, go right ahead and join us on the live stream. All right, so this morning, folks, yesterday, Cindy and the girls were in Puerto Vallarta. I like Puerto Vallarta a lot. But they went to the Sabo Playa Beach Club. So that's the girls there, the pool behind them and ocean beyond them. Nice, I guess it's actually a bay, but, water. Oh, there's a little surf in it. And of course, that's our lovely Cindy in Puerto Vallarta. All right. So the big deals continue from Will Power Chairs and Scoot Around. For the entire month of March, right up till March 31st, the Will Springs celebration is going on all month long. If you purchase a Model F, now that's the smaller one. It's not quite for the plus size people like me. It's a little lighter weight and it's foldable, which is the nice part. Model F, or like I use, the Model C2. Anyway, if you purchase either of those models, you will receive $250 to use toward accessories through the end of the month. Now, if you happen to use code Chillie, That's CHILLIE, the longest way possible. If you tell them code Chillie when you make your purchase, not only will you get a discount on the chair, you'll also get the $250 for accessories. So that's a pretty good deal. All the way up until the 31st of March. So if you've been thinking about it, folks, can't be a better time to do it. All right, the top story for the day, guys, comes from Bar Harbor. You know, it's just last week we talked about the judge capping the landings. Well, last night, the Bar Harbor Town Council called a special Wednesday night meeting to decide the next steps following the court decision, capping landings at 1,000 cruisers per day. Judge Lance Walker of the U.S. District Court in Maine upheld the cap approved by Bar Harbor voters in November of 2022. Now, it was on a referendum that was challenged by a coalition of local businesses, the Pilots Association, and the operator of the piers where the cruise ship tenders land. One plaintiff, the Association to Preserve and Protect Local Livelihoods, whose members include local restaurant shops, tour-related businesses, said it will appeal. The Penobscot Bay and River Pilots Association is reviewing the court's decision. In a statement to Bar Harbor Story, that's the newspaper there, an attorney said the Bar Harbor ordinance was designed to bar a whole category of the transportation sector, traditional cruise ships, from coming to Bar Harbor. Plaintiffs contend and continue to contend that this sweeping ban violates the U.S. Constitution. Plaintiffs disagree that Bar Harbor's exercise of this authority is only a matter of home rule under Maine law. Art gallery owner Charles Sidham, a leading proponent of the referendum and interventor defendant in the suit, called Walker's ruling a huge win for Bar Harbor citizens and democracy. And in a Mount Desert Islander editorial, he urged the town council to act now with transparency to implement the new cruise regime. As written, the ordinance would reduce cruise visitation to Bar Harbor by 80 to 90% compared to 2023 numbers, a number included in the judge's decision, Cruise Maine said in a statement to one of the news outlets. These restrictions would inevitably require the cruise lines to change their main itineraries, but it's too early to predict what those changes would look like. Cruise Maine, a marketing agency for the state, also noted the legal process is ongoing, since that process is unlikely to be resolved before Bar Harbor cruise season begins May 2nd. Decisions on Wednesday night may have significant impact for the 2024 season. The ordinance grandfather calls that were booked prior to March 17th of 2022, so those wouldn't be subject to the new daily landing cap. Approximately 40 calls this season were booked after the cutoff, according to Sarah Flink, executive director of Cruise Maine. Cruise Maine's port schedule shows ships with a total capacity of 182,000 passengers. Norwegian Cruise Line has the most calls, 34, followed by Holland America, 15, Royal Caribbean, 13. At its Wednesday night meeting, the town council could choose to honor all the book calls or elect to enforce the ordinance as written without exempting the calls booked after March 17, 2022, or it could take some other action. The major impact will be in future years. The 1,000-person per day cap has huge repercussions for Bar Harbor as a cruise destination George Walker noted only 27 of the 134 ships that were scheduled to call in 2023 would be able to disembark their entire complement of passengers without exceeding the cap. And my question on that, folks, is how are you going to do that? You can't. So you've just erased all those ships. Now, unfortunately, we don't know the final outcome of what happened in last night's meeting, as the press was asked to leave. So can't tell you what happened beyond that. But this things to me don't look good for Bar Harbor at all. All right, I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. The next story, folks, and before you start screaming at me, I know this isn't a picture of the story. Royal Caribbean has announced a change that applies to checking in for cruisers when sailing from one home port in 2024. This change will affect select sailings on 4 cruise ships. Effective immediately, select Royal Caribbean cruises that depart from Vancouver this year will require that guests check in through the cruise line's mobile app. Checking in through royalcaribbean.com for these cruisers will no longer be allowed. Now, many of us have been doing that since the app was out. But there's still some people out there that don't, whether it's they don't understand the mobile app or they don't have a smartphone or whatever. If a guest is unable to check in through the app, they will have the option to check in once they arrive at the cruise terminal on the day of embarkation. I wonder how much of a confusion and holdup that's going to cause. Royal Caribbean added app check-in a few years ago to speed up the embarkation process and to make it easier at the cruise terminal. And it works very well. Most cruise lines now have that. When checking in on the mobile app, guests enter their passport information, upload a security photo, and add a credit card for their onboard account. So that doesn't have to be done when you get to the ship for embarkation. Once they have completed check-in, their set sail pass will appear. That helps eliminate the need to print out boarding passes. Now, I put it on my phone. I get up to the desk and I say here, and I take a picture of it. You can go on through. It's about that simple. The app is also used to on board to book shore excursions, dining reservations, shows, and more. Royal Caribbean currently has 4 cruise ships scheduled to offer cruises from Vancouver this year. Brilliance of the Seas, Radiance of the Seas, Quantum of the Seas, which I was on 2 years ago, and Ovation of the Seas. If you're scheduled on any of those folks from Vancouver, you got to have the app on the phone. Unless you want to stand in line. And by the way, folks, I know that wasn't a picture from Vancouver. I also know that Icon of the Seas has not been to Vancouver yet. However, that was the picture that was most easily accessed to use on the story because it's about Royal Caribbean. All right. This one I had the giggle about. Silver Nova's arrival in Fort Lauderdale, it's on the 15th this month, will be delayed until 11 a.m. due to a special photography event at sea with Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas and Celebrity Cruises Celebrity Ascent. To what? They're going to make a ship late for a photo op? How about the people that need to get off the Nova and get to a flight? Or the people that need to get on the Nova for the next cruise? Silver Nova will have a slight itinerary adjustment, resulting in a delayed disembarkation at Fort Lauderdale. Cruise Line is coordinating a unique celebration that will bring together these three Royal Caribbean marvels: Silver Nova, Icon of the Seas, and Celebrity Ascent, as all of the ships will be sailing near each other for the first time. Royal Caribbean will come on, tongue. Royal Caribbean will use the opportunity to take photos of the ship together on May the 13th. Silver Nova is making a navigational change to accommodate the event, which will cause the ship to miss its originally scheduled 7 a.m. docking time. The ship will now dock 4 hours behind schedule at 11 a.m. For a photo op. What can I say, folks? I mean, let's face it, if Will Powerchild calls me and says, dude, we need you for a photo op, I'll drop everything I'm doing and go. What can I say? I guess Nova feels the same way. All right, let's go see who's fussing at me over in the chat room today. If we got any more of those sex bombers that seem to be coming in every day now. There's Joanne. You're bright and early, Joanne. Mike's with us. There's Robert Lamb. Good to see you again, Robert. Gary Older Than Dirt's with us. How's the bass fishing, Gary? Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. I'm working on a brochure, folks, for Chillie's cruises to Alaska. I've been working on it all morning, and I'm just not very good at this kind of thing. But I'm working at it. Hopefully, I'll have it out sometime today. Emily's with us up in New York. There's Hot Air Tom. Where are you today, Hot Air Tom? Everyone from the Norwegian Jade en route to Grand Cayman. Going to Grand Cayman and getting on one of those tender boats. You're sounding pretty choppy at times. Oh, don't tell me that. Audio breaking up again. I don't know why. Bar Harbor is going to lose a lot of money. Bob Stamper's with us. Good morning, gang. Good morning, Bob. Audio okay now, so it must have been some screwy thing. I don't know. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. And Katie's here. Hi, Katie. Glad all you guys popped in. Sorry about the audio, folks. I'm just at a complete loss why that is doing it, unless it's has something to do with the weather. But I'm showing a good signal from my end. Sound got better. Thank you, Joanne. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today, folks. I'll be back same time, same channel tomorrow for some more silliness. Hopefully a little more news. And so it's really light on news today. So this is going to give Emily a chance to fuss at me. Your show's too short. Your show's too short. Well, sorry. Hopefully we'll have a couple guests on next week. Elizabeth on location down in Cozumel. She was, matter of fact, she was on an airplane yesterday during the show. She got in last night. I meant to pull up some pictures because No Name Bar put a big sign up, welcome her back. I'll do that for tomorrow. So she's back home now for a while. So if anybody's going to Cozumel, let me know and we'll see if we can't arrange a lunch or something. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget, thumbs up, everybody. See everybody back here tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Have a great afternoon.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises. I regularly post